Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I took two Dollar Tree items and transformed them into faux wood and just gave them the faux wood appearance and the technique that I used to do this. So if you're interested in seeing how I did this, stick around and keep watching. Alright guys, so the first thing that I am doing is just going to take this plastic lid from one of Dollar Tree's Tupperwares, and I'm going to be using my Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the color Chiffon Cream. And that is actually the first key ingredient of giving your project a faux wood appearance. You want to make sure that, at least for me, this is what has worked in the past, is to use the Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the color Chiffon Cream, and whatever item you're wanting to give a faux wood look to, you want to make sure that you cover it completely. And for this one, I believe I gave it about 2 to 3 coats of paint. Alright, so now that my lid has about 2 to 3 coats of the chalk paint, I'm going to go ahead and take this Waverly wax, and I'm going to just use a little bit. Now, for here, you're going to see in a minute, I accidentally poured too much, but that's okay. It's not going to go to waste because I am going to use it for another project. But it's a combination of the wax, and I'm using this brown oxide apple barrel paint here, and I'm just going to give it a few drops. And again, it really does depend on how dark or light you want your faux wood to be. You know, if you want it to be a little bit more dark, you're going to use a little bit more. Next, after I've just completely mixed everything all together, I'm going to be taking some of the Waverly chalk paint in the color Truffle. And this one is more darker, so it's going to give it a little bit of a darker shade. And you only need a little bit. Again, if you wanted it a little darker, you might want to use a little bit more, but this is really dark, so I didn't want my faux appearance to be too dark. So I'm only just going to use a little bit. And pretty much at this point, you guys, it's just kind of playing with it, seeing where, you know, which paint you need to add more of. You're going to see in a little bit, I added like a little bit more wax, and then I went ahead and added a little bit more of the truffle paint. So it really does depend on how you know, dark or light you want your project to be. And as you can see right here, I'm just adding a little bit more of the wax because I'm just thinking right now it's just going to be a little bit too dark. Alright, so now that I'm satisfied with the mixture of the color, I am going to take this stencil brush. This is what I have found works for me. It has always been a stencil brush because of the hard bristle. And I'm just going to dip the brush, not completely, just enough to kind of do a test area first. And that's what I would suggest to you guys, is just do a little bit of a test area first and see if you're satisfied with the color of your faux wood. So, you know, if it's too light for you, then you would just add a little bit more of the truffle paint. And like I said, it's pretty much just adding paint, you know, adding wax, and see, you know, like if it's the look that you're going for. And I'm so sorry that it's kind of out of focus here, out of you know, you can't really see too much what I'm painting, but I'll give you a better angle soon. But I'm just going in and I'm just painting it. And like I said, the key that I found have worked best is just to use a this stencil brush. So with this also, you want to make sure that in between coats, you just let it completely dry. I mean, I am using wax, so it is going to feel a little waxy. But if you let it dry, which I did, I put the first kind of coat on and I let it dry completely. And so for me, that was just letting it dry overnight actually. And then the next day when I came back to it, I realized it was just a little too light. And so I added some more, I added another kind of coat to it. And you'll do this until you feel like, you know, you're comfortable with the faux wood look that you're going for. But you definitely want to give it time to dry in between putting coats. All right, guys, so here's how it looks so far. The key to this is really not to give it a uniform look. You want to go ahead and put some darker spots around, you know, like just put some darker areas in some places and leave other areas light. But this is how it looks. I kind of decorated here with some other Dollar Tree items and this mug I made using a Dollar Tree mug. So I think it came out great. So the next project that I'm doing is I'm going to be doing a stacked pumpkin using the foam pumpkins from Dollar Tree. And I'm pretty much going to be using the same technique. So for this one, you obviously want to make sure that you really coat this well. You don't want any of the orange showing through. I wasn't too, you know, like I didn't go too crazy with the bottom, obviously, you know, like, and then I didn't go too crazy with the top as well because I'm going to be gluing the second pumpkin on top. But I made sure that I coated all of the sides of the pumpkin and some areas on top with this chalk paint. And I don't, you know, this is a technique that works for me. I have posted a few of these projects on Instagram and over on my Facebook, and I did get a few people asking, you know, for me to, you know, put out a tutorial on how I did it. So hopefully you guys like this tutorial. It's nothing special. I'm just showing you guys what I use and you know what I use to go ahead and give it a faux look, and I really do like it. And honestly, I'm sure that there is something else you could probably use to give this a faux look, but I wanted to use what I already had on hand. I don't like to keep purchasing things if I already had it. And so one day I just kind of mixed some paint together and decided to do this, and I absolutely love the way that it came out. So now that my pumpkin is all painted, again, I'm going to be using the same technique, the Waverly wax. And, you know, I probably poured a little bit too much, but I am going to be painting two sets of these pumpkins because I do plan on giving one away. So like right here, for example, I poured a little bit too much, and so I just poured some back. But so like I said, you're going to have to just play with it and see, you know, how lighter you want it or how darker, you know, like how light or dark you want it, and just kind of play with the paint to get that faux wood look. So again, once you have applied the first coating of, you know, your faux wood, you definitely want to let this dry. You know, of course, if you're satisfied with the first coat and that's the appearance you're going for, then of course you stop there. But for me, I had to give it like a little bit of, I had to give it another coat. And what I did was I would take, again, the stencil brush, because that's the brush that I feel works the best for me in giving it a faux look you know, faux wood appearance. So I would take the brush and just dip it into some of the darker areas of the brown paint and go around and just sporadically, you know, give some areas dark, you know, put paint on some darker areas and leave some areas light, you know, just like to give it just like wood, you know, like wood is not completely uniform. There are some dark areas and some light areas. So that's kind of what I did. All right, so now that the pumpkins have fully dried, and again, you want to make sure that they are completely dry. For me, that was just overnight, and then I would just, add, extra paint where I felt it needed to be a little darker. But I'm just going to go ahead and glue these pumpkins on top of each other. And I will be making another one of these, but for now, I'm just making this one. And I'm using this blessed sign, this sticker, also from Dollar Tree. I actually got this last year. I took it off of a project from last year, and I will sometimes do that. but I'm going to go ahead and put that on. I'm just kind of seeing where, making sure I don't have it crooked. I'm going to be placing this buffalo check, which is so cute, again from Dollar Tree, just going to be stacking it on top, gluing it, and it's going to make for a really pretty, just maybe like a Thanksgiving table centerpiece, or even if you just wanted to, put it on your shelf or something. I am just going to be adding these leaves, again from Dollar Tree, just to give it a little bit of extra fall Thanksgiving kind of look. But I think this came out really pretty. I really do love the way it came out. And here it is. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you guys have any questions about the technique I used, definitely drop me a comment. But please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye now.